So welcome back to the Hong Kong Football Club. We are the big names here at the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons. Out there today playing against the traditional overseas old boys, made up of a lot of expat kids who are studying abroad in the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and the States. So this should be a good game.
Again, now the APB is looking to win a number of titles again on the bounce. They certainly come here to make a statement, bringing a very strong squad out again.
Indeed, you know, Carl Heyman, Jimmy Cowan, Isaac Ross, just three of their capped All Blacks, found themselves in Hong Kong. I'm sure they'll be loving this little hit out with their mates, and then getting into the Hong Kong Sevens later in the week.
Yeah, they'll be very familiar with what the Sevens has to offer, this whole week has to offer over here for them.
As I understand, this footage is going out around the world. A big shout out to Rob Naylor. He's currently in San Francisco. Sad to be missing the rugby week, but also just for those watching, you feel you've got a team and a group of mates that you feel can have a run. I'm sure the Hong Kong Football Club are always looking for teams around the world. So get in touch if you feel you can give these boys that you're watching today a run for their money.
Are you on commission? Oh, great break of tackle there. Oh, unlucky. Very strong there by old boys number 4, who is John Michael Tuzan.
No, his name is Tuzan, but we'll take Tarzan with a run like that.
Oh, mate, he was strong. He was swinging on bars, knocking down trees then.
He was. I mean, you can see a huge physical difference. I hope you can pick it up on the TV. Huge physical difference in this BGC side. I mean, they're just ginormous.
Oh, they're ridiculous. You know, I remember reading some of the stats about the players. You know, the 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". You know, well into 100 kilograms.
I mean, they're looking for to be one of to add to the, should I say, the rare occasion of winning 3 back-to-back tournaments. This time for the BGC, they've won the last 2.
So there's a great take by him by Joe on the wing. But these guys another level. You know, you look at Carl Heyman there, playing in the front row of the APBs. You know, former Highlanders, Newcastle, Toulon, New Zealand player. You know, 120 kilograms, can still move.
I mean, I saw him earlier in the day, and I actually thought to myself, geez, he's a lot smaller than I thought. But you know, he's still a giant man out there. I mean, Isaac Ross is just, you know, he's towering out there.
Oh, it's ridiculous. He's got literally head and shoulders above everyone else.
And waist.
Yeah.
So Rocky Harvard there in the 12 is he's lining his man up from way out, giving that intimidation the point. Didn't get his shot in there, unfortunately. And the OSOB boys are having a go here. The big fend.
All come from a big break then on Willie Uma, who was crashing up the middle. Not shy of contact there, number 10. Yeah, a bit of a mismatch, but possibly over here on the wing. Oh, no, another prop on the wing again, saying no mismatch.
Rafe Morris there, the Hong Kong Sevens international, getting stuck in, back from his studies, getting a run out for this week. Bigger back chat, no one messes with Malcolm Pratt, the official.
Yeah, that's the one good thing about rugby. You know, discipline.
Malcolm Pratt.
Right through. But, you know, on a serious note, you know, the discipline that players have to show for such a physical game is phenomenal. You know, you get these boys playing football, screaming and shouting at the referee. Over here, no, it doesn't happen.
No, I think it's you know, the envy of all sports. You know, where you have such respect. You know, and I think it's respect for one another and it's respect for the referee that makes it such a great game.
Yeah, that big debate they've got in the UK at the moment about, you know, maybe banning contact rugby from school. I think they're forgetting the vital, important lessons that this game actually teaches the youth.
Yeah, and I think when you can batter each other in this case for 20 minutes, you know, and then straight afterwards, handshake, no doubt a beer tomorrow night, and a bit of a chat, you know. So it's Jimmy Cowan No matter if you're an All Black or not, pal, jog on. Off he goes. Not getting back his 10. OSAB boys are giving a good go,
now.
And they're in the corner.
It's the first try for the old boys here against the Asian Pacific Dragons.
There's a look around the camp at this Asian Pacific Dragons are kind of looking at each other to say what's going on. These boys from overseas have come in to play a bit of a game and have a go at these guys.
But then I think that's kind of seeing what we saw with the Hong Kong Football Club against the Samurai teams, and it happens, every sport around the world. Where you think you expect to win a game, you don't really concentrate. You relax for that first kind of 5 minutes, and that underdog's always keen to come in there and kind of upset you.
Just have a go, right? I mean, that's great. You can make a decision. You can give guys a respect, or you can gain some respect for yourself and have a go at these guys. That's a great start for OSAB. It's missed the conversion, unfortunately. 5-0, and I think the Pacific Dragons now know that they're in for a game.
They certainly do. Quite interesting when you look at the Dragons there. You look at all the players. It just looks like a team of forwards there. By the size of them, it's going to be interesting to see. If they've got any gas on the outside. Vital importance for these games with the space. It's going to be interesting to see how they kind of stand up against these teams who are a bit maybe smaller, but kind of certainly willing to chuck it out, go left to right, and see what they can get.
You're 100% right. I mean, it's hot. I know we keep mentioning the weather, but it really is hot down here today at the Hong Kong Football Club. I look at the YCAC side that we're playing earlier today. You look at the makeup of the team. They're such a great mix of what looks like a 7s team and a 15s team. They've got pace, they've got power where they need it. They've all got great skills. And for me, from this morning, seeing everyone have a run out, YCAC for me really looked like a team to beat.
No, they're certainly looking strong. They certainly are. These top-tier seeds, the top-tier teams, are going to be hard to separate them. But when you look at them, they seem the most well-balanced across the field. Physically, mentally, they seem all there together. They really look like they've come here with one mission in mind, and they could do it.
I mean, I thought that the Penguins looked particularly impressive as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Penguins International have got a lovely reputation for picking on character before quality of play.
Yes.
And there is always a really great warm feeling in that camp. Everyone seems to bond very quickly. I think you saw that in the way they performed today as well. Really backing each other up.
Yeah.
But again, you you don't want to base a team on how they physically look, but they just had a really good makeup, pace, power.
Well, that kind of does bring in another kind of thing to think about with these teams is when they are looking to or placing so much on where this could potentially lead, with places in Rio up for grabs and spots in the national team, England 7 squads player and New Zealand 7 squads members playing in these teams, it's going to lead a kind of, I guess, a nice problem to have in the sense that, these guys are going to be wanting to make a statement, but how much will that statement impact the team? If it's so much focus on a solo individual trying to make his name or get recognised, how much will that kind of, I guess, be to the detriment of the wider team?
But the OSAB boys should have been in there for a second one there. It's an unfortunate opportunity, but again, that's execution, right? So these guys now with 2 more minutes to go. If the OSAB can go into half-time, it'll be a great result for them at 5-0 up. Get their best back, and I'm sure some rockets will be fired in this BGC camp, that's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. They'll be having a big hard word with themselves at this half-time spot.
I mean, let's not pretend these guys come here, they're here to do a job. They're being paid by sponsors and so forth, so they've got to deliver. And at the moment,
that's the thing, it's the national side. You're paid to come over here, and there's an expectation. But still, on this level as well, you are paid to come over here. Transportation, accommodation. There's an entry fee to get into the competition itself. So there is an expectation that you've come out here to get a result, and you have to put everything you can on there.
I mean, and again, that emphasises why there is such a desperate need not a desperate need, there is already here such a high quality of refereeing.
Oh, definitely, has to be with this level. They know all the little niggles, all the little tricks. You've got to have someone who's kind of used to that.
And is not intimidated by the big names,
No, definitely not. Great hit there, great line speed there by the old boys.
One of the founding members of this team is Big Tony Pennell. He'll be sitting somewhere here in the Hong Kong Football Club. Pretty proud of what the OSA boys are doing here, and his son Kenzo, unfortunately, is away in Japan playing professional rugby. Is one of the mainstays of this team. So big shout out to him, Japan, if he's watching with his wife Jules.
that was nearly a fantastic try there. That old kind of horror that we all get as a player, that ankle tap. You think you broke through, all of a sudden, before you know it, you're flat on your stomach facing to the ground. Great offload there, though. Unfortunately, the supporting player just couldn't quite take it, and a knock on there. So a scrum now to the Old Boys, just inside the 22, just off the 5-metre line. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in this situation.
Big scrum here. Simply got to get this ball out. Can imagine there's going to be a big scrum here from the Asia Pacific Dragons. And we go into half-time with a fairly unexpected scoreline of the Asia Pacific Dragons 0, the Overseas Old Boys 5.
So just about to kick off now for the second half. The Old Boys are going to kick off to the Asia Pacific Dragons.
Just a reminder of what is, for those that know the 10s event, a very unexpected halftime score. It's the Asia Pacific Barbarians 0, the Overseas Old Boys 5, and fully justifiable score as well. They've been well and truly in this game and deserve the scoreline they've got.
It's a great kick-off. Surprised they want a bit more challenge on that. The Old Boys, some great height, and that could have easily got under, tried to win the ball back. Oh, good hit. Can't beat that slapping sound that kind of echoes across the stadium on a big hit like that. You always know it's good when the crowd goes, ooh.
It's never great when it's on you, but the sad thing here, you don't feel like the Pacific Dragons here. There's no one going forward. There's no one really having a go at the line. They're going side to side, you know, and it's fairly easy for these guys to get across. And there's the old classic commentator's curse as they go side to side and carve them up. So the Asia Pacific Dragons get themselves on the board there under the posts.
Tried by Petey the Vetter there. It's an interesting style they got, because it looks like they're playing with no heart, no passion, but yeah, it's out of the blue like that, they just do something. It's just that kind of Islander way, I guess.
I think it's also that, you know, there's an element of sort of a flair where you don't know what they're going to do. They've got good runners off them. They also have the ability to be a man one-on-one, and you put any doubt into defence, you're giving yourself a chance, right? And they've got, we talk about Galways here that, world-class players, so they've got options around, and you're second-guessing, so you can't always 100% commit to a tackle. And that's one of the benefits they've got.
Well, I guess it's complete confidence on the ball, isn't it? They know if they can't make it themselves, take them into a bit of contact, there'll be someone right over there, right on their shoulder, kind of help them out. And so that puts the score now to 7 points for the BGC Asia Pacific Dragons against the A-Trade Overseas Old Boys. And immediately the Dragons are kind of attacking straight off the kickoff.
Again, we've seen how key possession is pretty much from the entire second half here. The APBs have had the ball in hand. Lucky there, got a bit fortuitous there with the bounce. Well, you would have seen Zara Lawrence there, the New Zealand 7-star of about probably 6 or 7 years ago. Still got it. Still getting out in the park and enjoying himself.
So it's a scrum now to the Old Boys just inside their half, near the touchline on the left-hand side of the pitch. It's actually a pretty good crowd down here today.
Yeah, there's a great new setup down here at the footy club. They've moved the players stand across to the hockey field, so the guys have got a place to relax on the bean bags and the ice baths, etc., and opened up a far bigger public stand, which is great. We're getting people in, and the great thing is that later on this afternoon, the school kids get down, and see some great rugby.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know a big aim for the competition is to kind of raise his profile globally. Already the, by far the best Hong Kong, or best 10s competition, I should say, in the world, and I think it's certainly deserving that title again now, and I think this is just going to kind of put it on the platform to go higher level again next year.
I mean, you see the growth of 7s and where that's gone. There's no reason why the 10s competition can't do the same. If anything, it's almost a little bit more exciting because you hear, like, we go back to the little slapping sounds we heard before. Nothing better than a big hit, and there's far more big hits in the 10s than there is in the 7s.
For a player, there's only two things that matter more than scoring a try. One, it's running into someone in contact and putting them down, making them sit down. Second is when you hit someone with that. When you get it right, you get a big hit in them. You hear the crowd go, ooh, can't beat that. That's all about pride, that is.
Yeah, Reese's a back row if you don't know everybody, so he enjoyed the first two. He doesn't score many tries there.
So nearly an opportunity for a quick break then. The APBs, a penalty was rewarded to the Old Boys, deep inside the 22.
Here's an opportunity here where do they take the decision? In front of the posts, knock over a 3. This is the Northern Hemisphere that's coming out here, Reese.
Yeah,
do you take the 3?
Non-excitement, points game.
Be interesting decision here.
I
5 minutes
think
to go.
He's going, yeah, he's going to do the kick.
Look at that.
But it's interesting, when you do look at kind of the...
And he's only gone and missed it.
Oh, well, he's going to be punished afterwards for that. That's going to be noted for the drinking session on Thursday.
Do not want to be in that courty, poor lad. He's a back wearing a headgear, a head strapping as well. It's horrible. It's horrible to watch.
Yeah, Miranda there, number 18 for the Old Boys. There's fear in his eyes now.
About the court session.
Yes.
He's not worried about the 120-kilo Fijian boy opposite him anymore. So a let off there for the Asia Pacific Barbarians. Oh, sorry, the Asia Pacific Dragons.
They definitely kind of found their gear now. They just kind of sat back. You can see them very confident everywhere they are. The solid defence, communicating well, covering it, leaving no gaps at all in the field. And they don't look like they're going to miss any of the one-to-one tackles. So the Old Boys are going to have to find a new way to attack on this, something else. They've got to vary something to get those points on the board. It seems to be a different team they're playing this half compared to the first half.
But yeah, still seem very unstructured. Relying really heavily on their outside backs to sort of create things for themselves. And you can't bully these teams in this competition, right? So, I mean, you see the quick tap there. You know, he's going around in circles. There's no real intent. You know, there's no real plan, no structure going on in their game. And you know, the latter part of the competition, where I've no doubt it's where they want to be. You know, they're going to struggle against YCAC, Penguins, the Samurai. These are good structured teams.
Yeah. So the Dragons now have a line out inside the 22 of the Old Boys.
So the benefit there, I don't think Isaac Rock really needed to jump there. He's that big.
As the Old Boys rushed up very quickly there, you know, good line speed, but quite risky. Left a few gaps there that nearly got a kind of
Zara Lawrence is in on that ball. What a great jackal. Hopefully he's turned this ball out. That's a great steal.
Fantastic.
Now there's just the hunger, you know. There's Zara Lawrence. You know, he's not played competitive sevens probably 5 or 6 years, but straight in on that ball. It's just great stuff. They're isolated there, but they managed to get it back.
Oh, great hit. The player was a little bit isolated, but it looks like the Old Boys are getting around to support him.
You can certainly feel a sort of a bit of anticipation here from this this Dragons team. They're just unsettled. They're not happy, are they?
No, not quite.
And I know we're supposed to be you know, impartial, but I've got to say I'd love the OSOB boys here to put one up. I mean, it really would be great.
Everyone loves the underdog. But I've got to be honest, when you're watching this game now, it's hard to kind of see that happening, you know, defensively. Admittedly, attackingly, they're not playing with any flair, or it's not, you know, blowing anyone's mind, but defensively, they're certainly very strong.
Oh, very lucky bounce there, so turned out to be what was an ugly kick to a great kick.
Great attacking platform now for the Old Boys. Could happen.
Could happen. Well, right now, I think we're about 3-4. I'm about 3-4 up against Urisi on commentator curses. So hopefully this is another one. We'll go 4-all. Loose ball there. It's a real shame. You see the Dragons boys. They just want this whistle to blow. They've really had their feathers ruffled, and this OSOB side have really had a good crack at them.
They really have. You know, what, 50 seconds left. 7 to the Dragons, 5 to the Old Boys. Old Boys camp now into their 22. They're looking strong. You know, could happen still.
Certainly could. So big scrum here.
But again, on paper, you just look at the names on that Dragon squad. My phenomenal squad again.
Yeah, it's just a depth. I mean, they've gone playing safe, going for territory. Not a great kick, straight into midfield. The counter attack is good. You can see here that they're tired legs there. There's only 2 SOB boys back. That's fortunately the execution that was lacking. Just throwing those 50-50. So then we're going to have one last play of the game, one line out.
Yeah, there should be time for this line out now. Clock's just about kind of to strike time, but they'll play this line out. So one final attacking platform, I'd say, for the Dragons on this.
That's the game there, and I think there'll be a very unhappy APD side there as far as a win can go, but a very unconvincing performance.
Very unconvincing, but then I guess, you know, if you looked at the New Zealand team in the World Cup, I remember being there watching against Georgia, and yeah, we were all beforehand thinking, oh, it's going to be 100-0 to New Zealand, and it ended up being what looked like a close game, but then as the tournament progressed, New Zealand just went up through the gears. They knew what they were doing. They just conserved their energy, playing, I guess,